welcome to the stage a man who, when I asked him if he was ready and willing, he replied, you know what? Where there's a will, I want to be in it. Please give a warm welcome to Jeff Tobe.
So, where is he? You know, I've been sitting back here thinking to myself all morning that you guys are all trained, aren't you? Thank you. You can all sit down. I really appreciate it. But you all sit according to where you think the speaker's going to speak from. As a matter of fact, I don't want to pick on anybody, but I heard somebody over here say, you know, if he's not any good, we could sneak out. He'll never notice. So I may just stand here and drive you guys crazy, if that's okay. Good morning, Tastefully Simple. Man, the energy in here has been incredible this morning, and I'm a little worried that the energy is going to go down. So my job is to get the energy back up. Here's what I'd like to do. When I ask you an appropriate question this morning during our time together, would you answer with the word absolutely? Let's try it. Come on. Wait. 1, 2, 3. Absolutely. No. See, it's energy I'm looking for. So here's what we're going to do. I think my job is also to make you feel uncomfortable. How cool is that? So here's what we're going to do. When you yell absolutely, I want you to throw up your left hand like a fist if you mean it. Here's the thing. If we all do it, you won't look silly. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3. All right. I believe that when we're talking about engagement, about creative thinking, we have to start thinking about the questions we ask of our customers, internal and external. What I thought I wanted to do with you today is I thought if I could give you some tools that will completely change your business, then I've done what I want to do. And I know you've spent a long time with me this afternoon, and I really appreciate it. But these tools, just to tease you, when I used them many years ago in my advertising business, it increased our business in 1 year by 20-something%. Just by these tools, these two tools I'd like to give you. The second thing is it completely changed the way I worked with my customers, internal and external. It got my people more engaged. It created loyal customers for me. And the final benefit, it also changed the way I parent my kids as well. Did I make it to the top? Absolutely. Did I win? Absolutely not. No, I didn't. And I'm still bitter about that, actually. Here's the point. I have to trust that Outward Bound has given me the right tools. They call them the belays, the ropes. Then I have to believe that getting to the top of the rock truly is my goal. But as long as I use the tools they give me and the goal doesn't change, who cares how I get there? So in this module, I need you to think a little creatively. I need you to be a little flexible. Say to yourself, if my people, internal and external, use the tools I give them and the goal doesn't change, who cares how they get there? But it's the second step. It's the second step where we kind of made money, where we increased our bottom line, where we changed the way we did business with our customer. It's the third mountain, if you will, and it's not good enough that we're listening. We have to tell them that we understand. And so there's another question. It's sequential. It's a question that changed our business. Will show you the blanks. Will you tell me what the question is? There are two words that form a question. What are they? What if? Thank you very much. What ifing. I'm going to take you through a series of what ifing that will change the way you do business. Until when I leave, what does Bob say to almost everybody with whom he works? What do you think? I have a great idea, and I want to work with Jeff Tobe because something feels comfortable. Here's the thing. I walked in selling glasses. I walked out. That's not going to work. I walked out. You're all watching that. I walked out selling plastic beer steins. Why? Because in opening up a dialogue, we both agreed that plastic beer steins just might be the second right answer to the exact same challenge of what do I give away in the trade show booth. See, I wasn't trying to pull the wool over his eyes. I truly believe that glasses were the right answer. But if he doesn't believe it, it doesn't matter what I think. Remember the top of the mountain? As long as Bob uses the tools I give him and the goal, what do I give away in my trade show booth, doesn't change, who cares how we get there? So please keep in mind, as I say customer, I'm talking internal and external. The reason I say that is because when it comes to being more creative, when it comes to sort of driving change through an organization, there are only two issues on your customers' minds. They look like this. 1, 2. It's early, we're going to keep it simple. Here we go. So two things on your customers' minds. The first is cost, and the second is value. And unfortunately, that's the ratio between the two. Let me explain what I mean. I'm not talking about the price of something. I'm talking about the perceived cost. Remember, we're talking about change. The perceived cost of doing what you're asking me to do versus the perceived value, what's in it for me. And as we start dealing with this new generation, this Gen Y, I have to tell you, this is their mentality.
I'm not being judgmental. It's not good. It's not bad. It is what it is. But basically, for everything we ask them to do, they're saying, prove to me the value versus the perceived cost of doing it. So when I'm talking about being creative today, I'm talking about how do we creatively increase the value in our customers' minds versus the perceived cost of what it is we're asking them to do. Paul has no idea why I can't make his engagement, but subconsciously he's saying the cost must be greater than the value, and he's right. The perceived cost of being away from my family is far greater than the perceived value of doing his session. But by mentioning video games, guess what? This starts to grow. And believe it or not, I truly believe, as an outsider looking in, this is the key to survival, what you all do. Let me explain. I would venture to guess that video games would not turn a lot of you on. But it was something about me, Paul's customer, at that very moment that he knew would increase the value specific to me. This is where your work comes in. It's no longer a one-size-fits-all for the people with whom we work. For every individual customer, internal and external, we have to figure out what is it that will increase the value specific to you right now. And where your work comes in is that you have to keep doing it to assure that this is bigger than this. I explained it to him. You know what he said? You know what he said? Jeff, don't give up so easily, right? Put me on hold. Came back 20 seconds later, he said, no problem. I said, Paul, it's a problem. You can't possibly do it. He said, it's not a problem if I send the company jet. I said, you send the jet. Don't worry about my fee. No, I didn't say that. I don't know if any of you have a jet, but the point is this. You've had an amazing, from what I understand, few days together. I know that you loved Linda Larson, a friend of mine, and she did a great job, but how about just the ideas and the concepts you shared with each other? As you go back to home, I want you to think, as messy as this is, of this model. How does what I'm taking back increase the value for my customer versus the perceived cost of all the change that we're going through?
And so we came up with this idea that what we would do is we would deliver an empty paint can to them, not a gift. And in the paint can would be just paintbrush. Attached to the paintbrush would be an invitation. And it would say, on this date, and by the way, I lived in Dallas, Texas at the time, on this date, we're going to get together on a Saturday, and we're asking you to volunteer. Now, these are going out to all of their clients. We're going to ask you to volunteer to paint houses in South Dallas. We had no idea what kind of response we were going to get. Well, I would say that 250 people later, we had to cut off registration. It was incredible. As a matter of fact, I still have pictures to show you. And we painted houses for that day. You know, you think they'll remember it? But here's the key. I could have sold just stuff. Instead, I realized that day, because of my customer, that we're not in the stuff business. What we're in is we're in the solution business. And that's what I've been hearing since I've been here. I love it, but you've got to take it to heart. You're not selling stuff. It's not just items. Those are fine. But you are solving real problems that your clients have. Every one of these brands is known for one thing. What are they known for? Customer service. Get your left hand ready. I have a question. Ready? Are you in the customer service business? Absolutely not. I don't know who told you this. I led you down that road. I'm sorry. I truly don't believe you're necessarily in the customer service business. I know you think you are, but let me show you what's happened sort of out there. And once you realize what's happened out there and you can bring it in here, it will change the way you do business at Tastefully Simple. And we're all in the customer service business. But I guarantee you that any of your competitors would tell me the same thing. It's no longer a differentiating factor in the marketplace. It's not good enough. $8.25 for a cup of coffee. And I paid it every single morning. Why? It wasn't because of customer service. It wasn't because that I needed my coffee. As a matter of fact, what I forgot to tell you is that about 500 yards from the restaurant, just outside the gates of the Four Seasons Hotel in Bali, is a McDonald's. I could have walked 500 yards and paid $1. Instead, I chose to pay $8.25. Why? Because they got it. What it is, it's not about customer service. It's about the experience. It's all about the TS experience. Let me explain the difference. Customer service is what you all do. I'm not telling you to not be in customer service. It's what you do from the heart. Well, how can I help you? What can I do for you? Customer experience is when you can step back and say, what is the Tastefully Simple experience from the minute somebody makes contact with us till the minute they're done? That involves your whole team. And now what happens with the team is they start to get more engaged. So if that's true, it's a giant leap. I think it's a leap from customer service, which was satisfy clients, and we were happy with that. But you make the leap to start thinking about the TS experience, and what happens? We get loyal, engaged customers. That's huge for what you do. And if that's true, there's a third piece. We have to figure out, how do we shatter the stereotype of the experience our customer expects to have with us? And coloring outside the lines is lonely, too. I'm the only kid that doesn't get a gold star on my paper. The teacher frowns. The kids, they call me weird or dumb or stupid. Why don't they see I'm not behind them? I'm actually out in front, running free outside the lines. And it'd be nice to have a friend who colored outside the lines sometimes too. Would you? Will you? I'm the only thing standing between you and lunch. Ready? Left hand, lots of energy. Will you? It's been my privilege. Thank you so much, and I love what you do. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.